So today we'll be getting into everything with Edge's return, some main roster tryouts, the Funhouse, and more. Let's start things off with Edge's big WWE return. Edge was obviously being advertised for the July 16th edition of Smackdown, so everyone sort of figured that he'll have to return somewhere around that time frame. Well, we now have our answer for his return. Edge returned on the June 25th edition of Smackdown during the closing moments of the show. Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman were having their State of the Universal title promo. It was the same promo we've heard a few times before. A promo where Heyman goes down the entire list of Roman's victims from the last calendar year. Due to Roman Reigns having no one left to face, it sounded like Roman and Heyman were seconds away from making a big announcement about Roman's next move. They were really teasing something there before Edge came out. If Edge never came out, what was Roman going to announce there in that moment? Obviously, no one knows for sure, but due to the context of the promo, you could probably put some theories together. What if he announced he was going to Raw for Bobby Lashley? This has been a theory that's been around for several months now, but if Roman is obsessed with the top guy in WWE, why not set his attention on the WWE title and try to unify the titles to become the undisputed and standalone world champion in WWE? Obviously, you can't do that because you can't leave Raw without a world title, but the concept and idea itself just seems like it's something that would at least cross Roman Reigns' mind. But whatever that announcement was, got cut off by Edge's return. Quick note about the hidden meaning behind Edge's shirt as well. His shirt had the word iconoclast on it. An iconoclast is someone who attacks or criticizes cherished beliefs and institutions. That meaning really does seem to fit perfectly with what's going on with Roman Reigns and Edge. Here you have Roman Reigns, this man who has these crazy beliefs about his position in WWE and his family. Roman is also trying to force his cousin to stand behind him and support him. So for Edge to come in and try to take all of that down perfectly fits the definition of iconoclast. He's here to just put everything Roman is doing to rest. It was later announced that Edge demanded a Money in the Bank match with Roman Reigns and was granted that match. Now it's amazing to have Edge back. That's already one of the most surprising and amazing returns of the year. Obviously, it's going to be great to see Roman vs. Edge one-on-one as well, because we've never seen that. But can't help to point out the logic flaws here for when it comes to WWE #1 contender system. It's so flawed that the on-screen characters even acknowledged it and pointed it out sometimes, such as the WrestleMania main event, for example. Edge earned his way to the title match by winning the Royal Rumble, but a Royal Rumble loser, Daniel Bryan, ends up being in the same exact WrestleMania main event as the Royal Rumble winner. That was pretty strange, and Edge even mentioned that fact on screen before. But now, when it comes to this match, what has Edge done to really earn another title opportunity? He's been at home for 3 months, but he can just get off the couch and instantly demand a Universal title match and get it? Same thing with Rey Mysterio. Roman attacks Rey's son, so that instantly gives Rey the right to a Universal title match? Again, the matches are great, but the logic on how someone earns a Universal title match still remains so inconsistent. What's also interesting is that we got a Seth Rollins vs. Roman Reigns teaser earlier in the night as well. Seth Rollins went up to Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville and requested a Universal title match. They said they'll think about it. But fast forward an hour later, and they don't hesitate to feed Edge's demand for a title match. So those inconsistencies are there once again. What made Edge's demand for a match so different from Seth's? Seth was also on Talking Smack when Edge vs. Roman was confirmed, and he flipped out and pointed out that Edge already got his match at WrestleMania and has been away for 6 months, while Seth has been here every day. So yeah, Seth Rollins is attacking the logic flaws there as well. It's a big match. We all want to see Edge vs. Roman. But the way they came together with it out of the blue with no story is a bit strange. The only argument that Edge has is that he was supposed to get a singles match at WrestleMania. Now with Seth Rollins' element being added to Roman vs. Edge, what role will it play in his feud? Does WWE sort of recreate the WrestleMania story and include Seth Rollins into the match for a triple threat with Edge and a Roman. That's definitely on the table for sure. It just looks like we have that same sort of WrestleMania situation going on, but the role of Daniel Bryan has been replaced with Seth Rollins. So, does Seth get placed into the match, or will he interrupt the match? That seems like it will also lead to Edge vs Seth Rollins at SummerSlam, so be on the lookout for that as well. We'll have to wait and see how that all turns out. Speaking of SmackDown, several reports claim that SCARLETT and SHOTZI Blackheart were at SmackDown this week reportedly for the main roster tryouts. This has been something that has been happening over the last few weeks. NXT champion Karrion Kross was recently brought up for these same sort of tryouts and even appeared on Main Event. Karrion Kross's appearance on Main Event felt flat though, because he was missing his entrance lights and effects, as well as SCARLETT by his side. So if you look at Kross's NXT entrance compared to his Main Event entrance, it's night and day. NXT's entrance makes him look like a massive superstar, while the Main Event entrance made him look like a local competitor. So that has always been a problem. Superstars create great art and these amazing characters in NXT, but when they come to the main roster, they get stripped of their NXT personalities and everything else that they had going for them. But SCARLETT and SHOTZI were the latest tryouts, so we'll see what that means, but hopefully Kross and SCARLETT can stay paired up on the main roster. It was rumored a long time ago that there were plans to bring some of the Firefly Funhouse characters to life. We've seen things like Alexa Bliss join in the Funhouse, but we've never seen the puppets actually come to life. It seemed like that idea of a puppet or doll coming to life was going to be given to Alexa, but of course, Lily has been dropped, so that no longer is a thing. But while speaking with Inside the Ropes, former WWE superstar Wesley Blake opened up about pitching to join the Funhouse and bringing the rabbit and pig puppets to life. He had this to say during that interview. "We pitch all sorts of ideas. Another crazy idea that we pitched was Steve and myself, we would be part of the Wyatt family, but we would be part of Firefly Funhouse. We would be his pig or his rabbit, and we would actually bring it to life. Not only that, but we would be real life pig and rabbit, and we would actually wrestle people, is kind of what we would say. Like we would kind of do his dirty work." As much as we love the Firefly Funhouse theories and everything Bray Wyatt related, this does seem to be a bit out there. Imagine seeing two grown men dressed up as a rabbit and a pig. How are you supposed to take them seriously like that? It'll be a nightmare to pull off in the proper way. So it's just easy to see why they rejected that pitch from them. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.